Welcome to Express Drives. I'm Rahul, and today we're going to be talking about 5 easy tips that you need to do to take care of your car during this lockdown period in India. Additionally, if you stick around till the end, there are a couple of extra bonus tips for people who own electric cars. So, let's get started. Now, India currently battles the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. Even after a year, most parts of the nation have gone back into the state of lockdown in some shape or form. While we advocate everyone being safe and taking all the necessary precautions during this tough time, it's our cars that sometimes need a little bit of tender love and care during these times, not only to keep them healthy and safe during this period, but also when we come out of it eventually, the cars are required to be healthy. And also, in case of an emergency, what if you need the car right now to go to the hospital? You're going to need a car that's reliable and that's working well. So here are 5 tips that you can do to keep your car healthy, with a couple of additional bonus tips for the EV buyers today. However, I would like to make it abundantly clear that you must only follow these steps when you are healthy and it is safe to do so and you're allowed to do so in your area. Personal safety should be your priority. So now, let's begin. If you have the luxury, park it in the basement as it will help protect the car from the natural elements. Avoid parking it under a tree or in bright open sunlight as the sap from the tree can fall on the car, and bird droppings, they will ruin the car's exterior paint, and also the direct sunlight will also deteriorate the rubber and different components of the car and just add to additional wear. Now, if it is not possible, clean the vehicle thoroughly with dedicated car care products and car shampoo, but make sure to use clean water and fresh or clean microfiber cloths. Then cover up the vehicle with a car cover designed for your car. Also, if possible, leave the wipers in the upright position, but I will admit covering your car, that's not possible. But if you don't have a cover, I would suggest put the wipers in the upright position, because in direct sunlight what's going to happen is the windshield is going to get extremely hot and that will deteriorate the rubber on the wiper blades. Now, the best practice is to park your car always with the handbrake on. However, leaving it in that position for a long period of time, what's going to happen is that it's going to lead to eventual wear and tear additionally to the brakes. And over a long period of time, it can also jam the brakes in place. Now, if you are going to park your vehicle in one particular spot for a really long time, do not use the handbrake. Instead, leave it in gear. But so that it doesn't roll away and you're in an incline, just put a stopper behind the wheel. The car makers recommend checking your tire pressures frequently. This is because over time, whether in or not in use, the air in the tires tends to escape and your car begins to sit down on its tires in that particular spot where you leave it. So to avoid the tires flat spotting, if it is safe to do so and you have the luxury, then take the vehicle out for a spin around the block or around your society complex, or just push it back and forth to make sure it rotates the tires a little bit. If you happen to own a tire inflator, use it to inflate the tires to the recommended pressures. If you leave your car for too long, idle, not being driven, what's going to happen is it's going to drain your battery. And when you come back to it after a while, you're going to see that your car's not starting, there's nothing that's working. It's done because your battery has gone flat. So it is best practice to come to the car once a week and just start the car. If you're not able to drive it, just come start the vehicle and leave it idling for 15 to 20 minutes with the headlamps and the AC on to let all of that circulate and the energy to be recuperated into the batteries, because it gets the alternator working and charge the batteries up. This will avoid you from having to jump start your vehicle later on, and especially in case of an emergency. Try to ensure that your fuel tank is brimmed up. Not only will it be a headache that you won't need to worry about during an emergency, but it helps alleviate corrosion in the fuel tank and fuel lines. Additionally, the air in the tank may condense and turn into water vapor depending on the weather conditions. This would settle in the fuel tank and then it'll not mix with the fuel, and then when you go to start the vehicle you're gonna have water in your engine, and then you see that dreaded engine warning light. You should be following the same procedures like we mentioned before when it comes to the tires, when it comes to parking a vehicle and leaving the handbrake on and all of that. But EVs are a little bit different if you haven't noticed. So they require a little different kind of maintenance and different kind of care. So the first tip is when you're storing the vehicle for a long period of time, store the car with about 40 to 60% of battery capacity when you do. Avoid using fast chargers for EVs around this time because you're not using the cars for a really long time. If you can, use a slow charger. Reason being that they're not very good. The fast charger is not good for your battery's health in the long run. So use a slow charger during this period and it'll do wonders for the car. And the second tip is for when you eventually set off in an electric vehicle. Now, if your EV has been lying around for a while and hasn't been left plugged in to the trickle charger or the slow charger, use that slow charger to charge it all the way up to 100% before you begin to drive it. Now that's it for today. If you like this video, do leave a thumbs up and remember to subscribe and all that good stuff. Let us know in the comment section below if these tips were helpful to you, and if they weren't, either way, let us know. And remember to always be safe and only practice these tips if it is safe to do so. And I will see you in the next video.